What's up everybody, it's Sean here, back today to give you guys a review of the Fragment Sacai Nike LDWaffle in the Blue Void colorway. Today's video was sponsored by Heffalux. Heffalux is my favorite go-to insole, so when they hit me up asking to sponsor my videos, it was an easy no-brainer yes. So Heffalux, for those that don't know, produces eTPU insoles, which essentially gives you the feeling of boost in your insoles. They're one size fit all, so you can trim it to fit your feet, and they produce 4 different insole models depending on what type of comfort you need. So if you're looking to add some added bounce and comfort into your sneaker, be sure to check out their website, give them a follow. I've been a customer of them for years now. So through that link down below, use the code SEANGO at checkout to get 15% off your entire purchase. So back to the shoes, this is a triple collaboration between Fragment Design, Sacai, and Nike. This released alongside a gray colorway, both releasing on August 27th for a retail price of $170 US or $225 here in Canada. The official colorway for this one is Blue Void, Obsidian, and White, and I managed to grab my pair here in Canada at Haven. So the Sacai LDWaffle, for those that don't know, is essentially a mashup sneaker combining elements of the Nike LDV with the Nike Waffle Racer. So in many respects, you'll see throughout this review, it's really like 2 shoes fused into one. However, unlike the original colors that dropped a few years back, this Fragment collaboration is much more muted, much more conservative looking. So diving straight into the details, on the toe box, the base layer of this shoe, this is constructed out of this dark blue colored mesh. And unlike the OG LDWaffles where the mesh was very thin, meaning you can see right through the shoe, for these Fragment pairs, the mesh is much thicker, so don't worry, your socks won't be showing through the shoe. Overlaid on the front of the toe box, we have this signature double layered look, and in this case it's covered in these 2 layers of this navy blue colored suede. This same suede covers the center of the shoe, covering the eyelets, and then underneath this we have more of that dark blue colored mesh. Stitched on top of this, we have your signature dual swoosh look, and again, unlike the OG drop where it was common to have 2 different colored swooshes, in this case, both the swooshes are done in simple white leather. Covering the back heel, we have again 2 layers of suede, and stamped on the center, we have Nike and Sacai branding in this dark blue finish. For the laces, so just like all the other Nike Sacai LDWaffles, these also come with dual laces too. But again, echoing that whole conservative and muted look, both the laces in this case are done in that same navy blue finish. However, they do give you an extra pair of white laces if you want to give this shoe a little bit more pop and contrast. Underneath the laces, we have your signature double tongue finish. So both tongues are done in this white colored nylon, giving it a very retro aesthetic. And the edges of the top tongue are unfinished, exposing the foam within. And at the top, we have your classic Nike sportswear tag, but the bottom tongue is wrapped with this blue colored nylon on the edges, and we have the Fragment Design double lightning bolt logo on the top. For the insoles, these come with your standard foam line insole. It's finished in this navy blue color, and we have Nike Sacai branding stamped on the heel in white. So the upper of the LDWaffle sits atop this very chunky, double stacked foam midsole. So the bottom layer of foam is done in this navy blue color, and we have a secondary layer of foam that's wedged in the middle. This is left in white, and on the lateral side of the back heel, we have this phrase which reads, "The classic Fragment Sacai." Just like all your other LDWaffles, this middle layer of foam protrudes outwards, and on the medial edge of the back heel, we have that signature Fragment Design coating. We have a bunch of numbers and text, which represents LDWaffle, which is the model name, Summer 2021, Men's Running, 827, and then of course, Sacai/Fragment. Turning the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your outsole, which is done in this waffle style traction pattern. It's entirely done in this black colored rubber and has this very retro look to it. So that breaks down the look and the design of this pair. For those wondering how these fit, generally speaking, I feel like these do run true to size, so that's what I would recommend. So I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 10 and they fit me great in a nice snug way. If you're someone with really wide feet, you might want to consider going up a half size, but I feel like for most people out there, especially if you have narrow, normal, or even slightly wide feet, true to size should be fine. However, the laces for the shoe are a little bit short, so I felt like I had to tie the shoe pretty tightly to get enough slack to actually lace up my shoe. So it's not directly related to the fit, but it's definitely something I noticed that changed the way that I laced up the shoe. Moving on to comfort, so even though there's pretty much zero tech within this shoe, the LDWaffle, all things considered, is pretty comfortable on feet. Again, we have this very chunky foam midsole, so even though there's no Nike Air, there's no Zoom Air, nothing special like that, it still feels great on feet, especially for a retro casual use shoe. And of course, the upper, as always, is always very lightweight and very breathable, so that's an added bonus too. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, overall, I gotta say, I was pretty pleased. The suede on this shoe felt very top-notch and very high quality, And while the leather used for the swooshes weren't the best, they weren't bad either. And the overall build on this shoe, I thought my pair was perfectly well put together, so zero complaints from that front. So with all that out of the way now, let's lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid collaboration between Sacai, Fragment, and Nike. However, in my opinion, this might be a hot take, but when I think of the LDWaffle, I usually think of really outrageous, really loud and bold colorways. So that's part of the reason why I was slightly underwhelmed with this collaboration. I think for what this is a very nice, very simple looking shoe, and I think it'll look really, really dope on other people's feet, but I don't really think it's necessarily a shoe I'm gonna rock that much. Between the blue and the gray pair, I think the blue reminds me more of your classic Fragment look, but I think the details of the LDWaffle kind of get lost in translation because the shoe is just so dark. So for that reason, I think the gray pair looks a little bit better on feet because it shows off the details of this model a bit more. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Fragment Sacai Nike LDWaffle. Between this one and the gray pair, which of the two do you guys prefer? And for those that managed to cop these, is this gonna be a pair that you keep and rock, or are you gonna trade it or sell it down the road? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. You can also check out my podcast called the Channel 8 Podcast. So the video version is hosted right here on my YouTube channel. It's hosted on most of your major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, and Podbean. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the continued love and support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.